eat them. Mevarech hamotzi lechem min haaretz. V'tani Allah, we learned about the minachot, that when you eat them, that before you eat them, v'kulan potetan kazait. You have to chop them up into pieces the size of a kazait. Even though it only says petita by some of them, all the minachot needed petita, all the minachot needed to be broken up into pieces the size of a kazait. So you see, if the mincha has pieces the size of a kazait, you make hamotzi. Amar le Abaye. Now, according to Rashi, who says you cooked it? Right? Where's the cooking? That's Tosaf's question. V'im tomar ve'ech medamer Rav Yosef pirurei menachot lepirurei habitza. One is cooked, one is not. Yesh lomar kivan shetinitkanim b'shemen kenitpashlu dami. Says you could say since there are some menachot that are fried, they're fried before. It's like it's cooked after. Okay, so he says, Amar le'abaye, ela me'ata, if your halacha is true, that if it's pieces less than a kazait, you make mezonot, letana deber bi Ishmael, de amar purchan ad shemachayziran lesultan. He learns that petita is break it down into flour type. Breadcrumbs. I want breadcrumbs, yeah. Ta purchan ad shemachayziran lesultan. You don't have to make hamotzi because his piece is less than a kazait. If you're going to say, yeah, it's true. V'hatanya, we learned lakat mikulan kazait. Rashi learns lakat mikulan from pieces of the mincha, kazait. So you see, I'm not talking according to the first one that says v'kulam potetan kazait, because if I'm potetan into pieces the size of a kazait, I can't be loket mikulan kazait. I already have a kazait. Every piece is a kazait. So it must be it's going like the Tana that says you break it down into small pieces. And even so, it says lakat mikulan kazait ve'achlan, and he ate it. Im hametzu anush karet. If it's hametz, you get karet. That doesn't mean anything for us. Ve'im matzahu Adam yotze bo yedei chovato bePesach. And in order to be yotze yedei chovato on Pesach, it has to be lechem. Rashi says, here look in Rashi, kazait, umid ka'amar yotze bo yedei chovato bePesach, mishum achilat matzah, timitzvat asehi dechtiv, ba'erev tochlul matzot, vehatam lechem ba'inan. It has to be bread. Dechtiv ba lechem oni. Alma lechem have. Umevarech hamotzi. V'hamatnitin al korchach Rabbi Ishmael. Mishnah has to be Ishmael. Tehakatani lakat mikulan kazait. Alma yesi bepetitin potetin pechutin mikazait kai. And even so, when I take them all together, it's considered hamotzi. It's considered lechem. V'chi. Says Gemara, no, that's not a proof. Hacha b'mayas kinan b'she'irsan. Rashi, b'she'irsan, k'shehazar v'gavlan yahad. After he breadcrumbed it, he kneaded it again, and he rebaked it. So lakat mikulan kazai, it means he gathered up the crumbs, he made it into bread again. He rebreaded it. He remade it into bread. Right? Ihachi ema seifa. The seifa of that braita is vehu. Now careful. She'achalan b'chdei achilat pras. He ate them in a kazeh achilat pras. If you made it into one piece, there's no he ate them. He ate it. But you're telling me that he made it into a kazayit again, right? So then he only has to, if he didn't make it a kazayit, then you're back to square one.
You can make bread that's smaller than
No, 1 second. Rav Yosef said pieces less than a kazayit, you're going to make mizonot.
because he rebaked it.
Rebaking it is not going to help unless you make it into a piece that's a kazayit.
Why? Bread could be smaller than a kazayit.
Yes, but once you broke it down and it lost its to'ar lechem, according to Rav Yosef, it's not coming back unless you make it into a kazayit. So, and if so, it should say v'hu she'achalo. He ate it. He ate it. So the Gemara says, "She'achalo mevele, ela hacha b'mayaskinan beba milechem gadol." This is it's a hard to understand answer. Look at Rashi. Hacha b'mayaskinan ubeshelo irsan. He really didn't break it down. Amart, like you said, it can't be. V'had katani de hashivi lemhevel lechem. This is what we say that it's chashuv to be considered bread. Beba milechem gadol. You have a big bread. V'nishar min alechem shelo nefras kulo. So you chopped him up into pieces, less than a kazait. But you left the other half of the bread whole. And the half that's whole holds the other half into still being lechem. Fine, but whatever big bread, I took half of it, I chopped it into small pieces. So if I would have chopped the whole thing, it'd be mizonot. But because I left this half of the bread whole, and it sounds like I took it to China. This bread is still good. It's hard to understand. V'nishar min alechem shelo nefras kulo. Aval im nefras kulo. If the whole thing was broken, lo hashivi petitim hapechutim mikazait. The pieces less than a kazait are not hashuv. V'lo mevarchinan hamotzi. You don't make hamotzi. Ve'en yotze bahen yedei chova matzah bepesach. Tosafot is not happy with this whole not this point, but he doesn't like Rashi's whole pshat, because according to not even sure. Okay, let's see. Says the Gemara, and that's the end of Rav Yosef's statement. My have Allah. What's the maskana? Amar Rav Sheshat, Hay Habitza. Afagav delet pe pirurin kazait, even though the pieces are smaller than kazait. Mevarech alav hamotzi lechem min aretz. You make hamotzi. Amar Rava comments on Rav Sheshat. V'hu deika aleh turita de nahama. In order to be hamotzi, it has to have what we call to'ar lechem. It has to look like bread. Rashi, to'ar marit lechem.
Meaning,
what? No. It has nothing to do. No, it's not looking Tosafot Amar Rava, the second half. He says Turita denamanere dahainu keshenatnu aperurim b'mayim. For example, if you put the pieces in water, ve'emamayim mitlabnim mehamat aperurim, and the water got white. That means that the starch all leached into the water. Az lale turita denahama. V'chen haya ragil Rabbeinu David mimitz lelabem perurim b'mayim. He would take small pieces of bread, put them in water. B'layla kedei le'ochlam b'shachar, to eat them in the morning. Below birkat hamotzi. This was the first mizonot roll. Ubelow birkat hamazon shelo le'acher kedei she'yitchazek rusha v'yuchal la'agid halacha. He didn't want to delay with the birkat hamazon. It took him a long time. So he made himself mizonot bread. We should have brought him over here, give him some of our items over here. All right. They were looking for mizonot bread then too. Let's see Tosafot. Tosafot says,
Basically, what he did was he put it in water and let it
mush. V'yesh lomar, delicious. Yesh lomar. Pirish Rashi habitza de'it beperurin. Pirish Rashi kemin shlenkuk. Ve'im tomar ve'hatanya le'el, we learn bizman sha'pirusot kayamot. You make hamotzi, ena pirusot kayamot. Lo yivarech alav hamotzi. Afal gav de'it bekazait. Even though it still has a kazait. And Rav Yosef didn't differentiate when pirusot kayamot or not. ויש לומר, רב יוסף מפרש לה, הפירוסות קיימות, היינו בכזית. Rav Yosef explains that pirusot kayamot is like he says, kazait. אין הפירוסות קיימות, אין בהם כזית. וכן מפורש בירושלמי. ואם תאמר, איך מדמה רב יוסף פירורי מנחות לפירורי חביצה? What does the mincha have to do with חביצה if the חביצה is cooked? He says, the mincha was also, some of them were fried. כיוון שנתגנים בשמן כנתבשלו דמים. ומי הוא קשה? Before we get to the rest of the Tosfot, look in the next, in two Tosfots down. Lakat mikulan. Pirish Rashi, dekai amenachot. Rashi says it's going on the menachot. Velo nehira. I don't agree. De'im ken, heichi ka'amar de'im hametz u anush karet. How could it be, how could you say if it's hametz, you hayav karet? All the menachot have to be matzah. Right? V'amrinan kol ha-menachot ba'od matzah. V'nir'eh dekai ahameshet minim. Lakat mikulam is a new braita. It's not talking about menachot. If you took pieces from all the hameshet minim, a little wheat, a little barley, a little oats, a little rye, a little spelt, and you put them together, if you ate a kazayit, you yotze matzah, even though it's not from one min. You might say, you be yotze with all 5 minim, but one at a time. Even combo is okay. But you see that each piece is less than a kazayit. So now go back up to the Tosfot. Av miu kashet, telakat mikulan kazayit dekaya hameshet minim. V'lo aminachot, kemo she'afaresh, like I'm going to explain. V'hatam nami lo mari binit bashlu. It's not talking over there where it's cooked. Umay medame lachavitza shu mevushal. Therefore Tosafot says chavitza is pieces of bread stuck together with soup or with chelev or something that's what makes it a chavitza, but it's not cooked. So according to Tosfot, when we're saying Rav Sheshat says chavitza, even if the pieces are not kazait, you make hamotzi. That's when it's not cooked.
Why is not cooked?
It's not cooked. Masha'enkin, if it's cooked, we'll go back to the Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi said perurim kazait or not perurim kazait. If it has perurim kazait, you make hamotzi. If it doesn't have perurim kazait, you make mezonot. Right? You follow me? We had the braita over here. Hakoses et hachita mevarech alea bore pri adama. Tahana. Get me a Mishnah Berurah Chelik Bet. You can get for everybody if you want. Tahana, if he ground it. Afa'a ubishla. Bizman shapirusot kayamot. Betchila mevarech alea hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Ulbasof mevarech alea shalosh berachot. Em en הפirusot kayamot. בתחילה מברך עליה בורא מן מזונות, ולבסוף מברך עליה ברכה אחת מעין שלוש. That braita is talking when it's cooked. So there's a concept of pirusot kayamot and a pirusot kayamot. What does pirusot kayamot mean? What does en a pirusot kayamot mean? Let's look in Mishnah Berurah, Orach Hayim, Kuf Samachet Saif Yud. Those of us there, Mishnah Berurah. Kuf Samachet Saif Yud. Habitza, Dahainu, Pirure Lechem, Shenetbakim Yahad al Yedei Marak. It's connected with soup. Im Nitbashel, if it was cooked, then like this. Im Yesh Baim Kazait, if they have a Kazait, Afal Pi She'em Bo To'ar Lechem, Mevarech HaMotzi Birkat HaMazon. Im Em Baim Kazait, if they're not a Kazait, Afal Pi She'nder'eh She'yesh Bo To'ar Lechem, Enu mevarech ele boreh mini mezonot uberacha ha me'en shalosh. That's Rabbeinu Yonah explaining. V'em eno mevushal, if it's not cooked, ela shu mechubar al yedei devash o marak, it's connected with honey or soup. Em yesh bepirusot kazait, mevarech alav hamotzi afilu en lo to'ar lechem. V'em en bahem kazait, if they don't have kazait, then it depends. Em yesh bahem to'ar lechem, ta'aynu shu nikar v'yadu shu lechem, mevarech alav hamotzi birkat hamazon. ואם אין בהם תואר לחם, מברך בורא מיני מזונות, וברכה אחת מעין שלוש. ואם אינו לא מבושל ולא מחובר, אלא מפורר דק דק, bread crumbs, אף על פי שאין בו כזית ולא תואר לחם, מברך עליו המוציא וברכת המזון. מזונות is in two cases. If it's cooked, less than a kazait.
When you're cooking them, less than kazait.
If you cook it and it's less than a kazait, or if you put it together, chabitza without cooking, the pieces are less than a kazait, and it doesn't have to'ar lechem.
Does it look like perurim?
No, it's not because pirurim could have it to our lechem. What?
Let's select a Zayin. It looks like bread. It's small pieces, but
It was cooked or not?
tahon no.
Not cooked yet. Hamotzi.
No, it's all the bread. How they cook it, how they bake it. I mean, bread. If it was bread, then
That's the way Marang takes from this. It's a lot of it based on Ibn Yonah, who goes through it a little bit more complexly. Let's see the end of the sugya. Amar Rav Sheshat. Rav Sheshat says, "Hay habitza." No, sorry. Next piece. Turuknin hayavim behala. V'chiat Rabin Amar Rabbi Yochanan Turuknin peturin min hala. So the stam of the Gemara says it's chayav in hala. When Rabin came, he said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, it's peturim min hala. The Gaon wants to change it to hayavim. My truknin, what's truknin? Amar Abaye kuba de ar'a. Rashi explains, no, kuba de ar'a. Ose makom halal bekira. He makes like a hole in the kira. He makes like a little cavity. V'notem betocho mayim v'kemach. He puts water and flour there. Kemoshe osim bilfas, like they do in a pot. And he bakes it like that. It's not pancakes. It's deep. It's thick. Kubadara.
Is it a bread or is it?
It's a bread. Hayavim behala. But we're going to see in a minute. We're going to see on the next page a little bit that you make a mizonot on it. Trita petura min hala. Trita is patur from hala. My trita. What's trita? Three opinions. Ika da amri gebil martah. Rashi says gebil martah. Notnim kemach umayim bekeli. You put flour and water in a keli. Ubohashim bekaf. They mix it. Veshovchim. So now it's a loose batter. Veshovchim ala kira. They pour it on the pot on the oven. Kishini seket as it's hot. And what do you get? You get like a thin pancake. Something like that. Right? Tani ve'ika da amri. Some say nahama dehandika. Rashi says we called it barbecue bread. Batzek dough she'ofim b'shpud. They cook it on a skewer. Umoshchim oto tamid b'shemen. And they're smearing it with oil or b'mebesim v'shemen, or with eggs and oil. Okay? Tani Rabbi Hiya. Rabbi Hiya learned that trita is lechem ha'asui lekutach. It's bread that you made not to eat as bread, but they used to have, the Bavlim had a dish called kutach habavli, which was a fermented, we'll call it a fermented milk with old moldy bread in it, right? So this guy's making the bread for his kutach. He's not making it nice. He just bakes it and then they chop it up and put it in. We'll see. So we say, V'had lechem asui lekutach. Rashi says they make it in the sun, but not so clear. Patur, Tani Rabbi Chia, lechem ha'asui lekutach patur min hala. It's not bread. V'atanya hayav b'hala. Hatam kitkatani ta'amar. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ma'aseha mochichin aleha. Asa'an ke'avin. If he made him nice, hayavin, it's hayav. Kilimudim, if he made him like beams, he's not interested in them, peturim. That's the sugya over here. One more piece. Amar le'abaya le'Rav Yosef. Hay kuba de'ar'a. May mevarchini lave. What beracha do we make on it? Amar le. So kuba de'ar'a was the truknin, right? May mevarchina leve. Amar le mi savart nahmau. You think it's bread? Guvla be'almau. It's just a mix. Umevarchina le borei min mezonot. So it's interesting. It's chayav in hala, and you make mezonot. We said truknin hayavim behala, and that's the halacha. Bezat Hashem, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen. What? 420.
So what is this?